Hi, everybody. Jean Humbrecht with Humbrecht Law here, criminal and traffic defense attorney in Manassas, Virginia. Today, I have a very special guest, my colleague and friend, Lisa Shapiro, the founder of the amazing DCFempreneur. We are very lucky to have Lisa on with us today. Lisa is a master connector, a wealth of knowledge, and just amazing at everything she does. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about DCFempreneur, and then I'll turn it over to Lisa to tell you more about why she founded the organization and everything the organization is doing now. So DCFempreneur was founded in 2019, and it offers community to local DC area female entrepreneurs that collectively seek to combine and share skills, knowledge, and expertise to help impact and grow their businesses to make them more purposeful, profitable, and sustainable. And the organization does this through networking opportunities, collaboration, and professional events, both online and in person, more online now, including continuing education, helpful resources, and support. That is a mouthful.
Yes, I couldn't have said that better myself. That was good.
Well, I did kind of get the information from possibly DCFempreneur's website, but I don't think I'd be able to come up with something that creative myself. So, Lisa, if you want to, it is a fairly new organization, founded in 2019. You want to tell everybody a little bit about why you founded the organization and your background?
Sure. So, I mean, you already kind of said that I'm a connector and like this natural networker. The truth is, everybody who knows you really thinks that that is also a really great descriptor of you. You're an avid networker. Everybody knows you, and you're definitely a connector. I think you're really great at that, which is probably why you fit right in with the DCFempreneur community. But honestly, I think the reason why I created the community is because I went out looking for my own community to join, just to be a part of, I would say in the fall of 2017-18. And I didn't find what I was looking for. I was looking for an all-female professional community. And, I want to emphasize the word professional because when I went out looking for a community of to engage with women business owners, what I found was a lot of moms with side hustles. Not like there's anything wrong with that, but there's a completely different idea behind what you do with your time in that community. And so when I didn't find what I was looking for, some of my colleagues and friends literally had to talk me into it. They said, hey, you're not really meant to work with anyone else or for someone else. You should just do your own. You should start your own. And, it's very common for someone to say, oh, well, that already exists, or somebody already does that better. So I have to get out of my own way first, right? And then listen to the other people who are telling me I should do it. And if you know who I am, I listen so well. And so it took me a year or two just to, get out of my own way to start it. But once I did, the momentum was incredible. We found our very core body of leadership, our founding members, pretty much right away. And I was really, really blessed by the professionalism and the talent of these women who came forward that said, yes, I love what you're wanting to put together. I want to be a part of it. And it just kind of snowballed in a really great way.
Yeah, I remember that I'd heard about it, I think close to when the organization first started. I just wasn't able to get to an event until around the holiday time last year. And that was actually my first event. I went to the holiday party, and I had such a good time. Everybody was so great. And I also won a really awesome prize. So
yes, you did.
I had to join the organization. So I haven't been a member that long. It's been since January of this year, but it feels like longer. And in that time, Lisa, I have had so many opportunities, networking, professional development, just so much. And I've met so many great people as a result of, your organization, 6 degrees of separation kind of thing. And it all comes back to the good group of people that you have assembled. So
yeah, I remember the holiday party, and I remember it was like hours later, we're cleaning up and everyone's kind of like, heading out. And it was really fun because I remember we were saying to you, like, came to the party, but you didn't know that you were leaving with a tribe, like a new girl gang, I think is what we called it. Yeah, that's definitely a standout moment. When everything is all done and over and everyone's just kind of hanging out being themselves. Yeah, I think that we have a really incredible community of women. And, what I think that is really special about people who become entrepreneurs after, just like yourself, where you've gained an entire lifetime of knowledge and skills, literally working for someone else before you decide, hey, I can do exactly what I'm really good at working for someone else for myself. And I think that is kind of the catalyst or the pivotal moment for so many, is when they decide they're going to go out on their own. And I think our community is full of those women where, they've spent an entire lifetime, 30, sometimes 40 years working for someone else before they decide, hey, I can do this on my own. And, even though you have, a lot of background and education in something, one of the things I've learned about being a part of a community like this is you always need a support system. And there's so many facets of running a business that nobody tells you when you're starting a business. You think you're going out in the world and starting a business to do what you love, like what you're passionate about. But what no one tells you are all the new hats you're buying. You have to become your own marketer. You have to be your own website builder. You have to be your own, marketing creative genius. Oh my gosh, it's a lot, and so, yeah, we have to kind of stick together and help each other out where we can.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are so many things. They never teach you this in school. And you don't think about, like taxes and bookkeeping and marketing and advertising and social media and answering the phones, doing administrative stuff. I mean, that you don't think about these things. They don't teach you these things. And when you start off, it's hard, obviously, because when you start, you probably have the lowest amount of money you're going to have in the course of your business. So, yeah, it's difficult. I mean, that. I know that, starting a law firm, starting any business, I've learned a lot in 6 years, and I'm still learning every day. But it is nice to be in an organization where, I mean, it's so diverse. Like the membership just ranges the gamut from different businesses and positions. Can you tell people who are watching a little bit about the makeup of DCFempreneur?
Sure. So there's myself, who's the founder, and I'm the CEO, but really I think I'm the community integrator. And then we have a core body of leadership that are our founding members. And just like you said, they range anywhere from criminal attorney to travel agent owner to CPA to graphic designer, all different types. We have a few business coaches who really focus on, charging your worth and business strategy, but mostly it's people, there's really no crossover and everybody kind of comes from a different background. And then in addition to the founding members, which were with me from the very beginning, we have what is called a Fempreneur Advocate Business, FAB. So our FAB business members are our largest portion. There's more than 70 now. We grow literally almost every day. And, in honor of, I know we were going to talk about this later, but it is National Women's Small Business Month. And of course, that's a really big deal for us. If our entire community is comprised of women small business owners, of course, we're going to really, really spend time honoring them. And so one of the reasons why I think we've been growing literally daily this month is because there's a special promotion for new members to come on board, a 20% discount, which ends up being like $38, which is not a small amount. And also there's a referral bonus for existing members. So if there's an existing member who refers a new member, not only does that new member get that 20% discount, the referral bonus in addition goes to the existing member. So I feel like there's a little bit of momentum going on there. And, we've been spending all month doing our member spotlights. So this is something that we came up with in July. And basically, it's just an opportunity for one of the business members to be be more highly visible in their business. So they have the opportunity to be featured all day in our Facebook group. And the Facebook group grows, daily. But there's about 1,200 small business owners in the Washington, D.C. area. So it's a small little niche, but a captive audience. And it's just a really great community. Everybody is so supportive of each other. I barely even need to do anything. The community just is like a well-oiled machine now. Everybody is posting and asking questions and jumping in and helping each other out. And in fact, tonight at like 7:30, just like you're interviewing me right now, there's another 2 members that met each other in the community, and they're like doing a collaboration on their Instagram, like live.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I love it that happens, and I wasn't facilitating that. I didn't say, oh, hey, Christina, you need to meet Christina and you guys should do this together. Like, they met and they did it on their own. And I mean, I couldn't be more proud when that sort of thing happens. It renews me in what I do and why I love it.
Well, I know you say you don't have to do any work and everybody does. Lisa, you do so much to help everybody. Lisa is so incredibly helpful. She's always coming up with new, interesting ideas, always helping the members. It's a really great organization to be a member of. And talking about collaboration, I met Jennifer Crawford and Mary Sue Dayhill at the holiday party. And then through meeting them, I found out about the Small Business Grit Summit, which is something that I spoke at back in May online. And they, if you guys who are watching, remember, they were on a local business spotlight promoting the Small Business Grit Summit. And then from the Small Business Grit Summit, I met so many amazing people. If she's watching, Rebecca Gunter, who's working on my branding, she was just awesome. She's going to be on later this month, by the way. But just so many great people. And then the connections that you meet from those people, because from great people, you meet great people. So it's been great.
And it's a shame we're not talking tomorrow, because tomorrow is Rebecca's birthday. So we could say happy birthday to her now. But that reminds me, I won from the May Small Business Grit conference. I won like a LinkedIn makeover with Rebecca, and I dropped the ball and I didn't follow up with it. But yeah, like, what a small world that is.
I know.
Like where you met her, I won something. I mean, I've known Rebecca probably for at least 10 years. I think I met her in 2010 when I was working with Chef Todd Gray. His restaurant is called Equinox. It's a block from the White House. And she was also like a client or something, or they were a client of Rebecca's. And so it is a very small world for sure.
I know. All the people in the DC area.
Yes.
So do you want to tell everybody a little bit about the events and opportunities that you have going on? Because I know we're 7 months into COVID right now, but I think sometimes people don't know about all the opportunities that are available online. So you want to maybe tell everybody about the virtual co-working and the webinar type events that you do and all that?
Yeah. So I would say things are pretty calm right now. I think as we are kind of going into the holiday season, we will have a lot of other virtual events probably next month. There hasn't been a lot of workshops as normal, I think, this month, because we've been having the member spotlights. But I feel like there will be opportunities in upcoming months for new things. We're working on a new membership that will launch in 2021. And that's going to be very exciting because it's going to incorporate some e-course, like built-in e-courses and modules. So every new member who comes in will have access to programming literally on demand to help them get their business started, regardless of where they are in their business. So there'll be beginner topics and advanced topics. It's something I've been thinking about probably for a year and a half. And we're finally, getting it underway. Of course, with the help of Mary Sue Dayhill and her CRM. But I can say, because we're talking about the holiday season, I did come up with this idea of, piggybacking off the shop small, shop local movement. And I've started putting together what I call the Fempreneur Shop Small Guide. So on this website, on a page on our website, we are listing a whole lot of different female-owned businesses, all based here in the Washington, D.C. area, ranges from, Maryland to Virginia, and of course, D.C., of gift ideas. Like, how many times have we said all year round that we need to be supporting small businesses, right? So taking it one step forward is not only are we supporting a small business, we're supporting a female-owned small business, and right here in our local community. So I've put together this guide. If you are watching right now and you're a female small business, sorry guys, I would love to feature you in the guide. There's a variety of categories we're putting together: gifts for him, gifts for her, for the home, client appreciation gifts, anything you can imagine. There's even a category for the entrepreneur, of course. So I think the idea here is just to, again, provide more opportunities for women in our community to be more visible in their business. And, it is a lot of work on my part putting this together, but I started working on it literally in July. And so now it's just a matter of getting the word out. And this is helpful for that. And being able to pull together, the graphics and descriptions of things. And then, really just disseminating that guide out there saying, hey, we've been talking about shopping small all year long, and the holidays are another way to continue that. So I'm hoping it's going to be a great success for our small businesses that will be featured in the guide.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I never would have,
Thanks.
and that gives everybody an opportunity to learn more about the other members in the organization too, because there are so many members, in this virtual world with as many things as we do online, sometimes it's, it's impossible to get to know everybody. So this is a really good idea to advertise business, so we can all, and I think showing the actual products or services that they sell is probably even a better way to promote them and get the word out, instead of a person just saying, this is what I do, because you might hear this is what I do and have an idea in your mind, but it's not actually, what I'm trying to say?
I totally do. Yeah. We have a member directory already on our website, but this is different in that it's going to be tailored specifically with a gift in mind. So, buying gift for kids or for grandma, or actually there are some really interesting gifts. In the guide already, there's more gifts for him, surprisingly, than there are for her. And one of them is repurposed and reused like computer parts. And he's made them into like cufflinks and like keychains and things. So they're really neat. So, if you have a friend or a loved one who's, a little geeky, right, and they work in that industry, what a cool gift, And, I think some people, when you have everything, what the heck do you buy someone who has everything, right? So I hope this fills in that gap when we're looking to buy something.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a really good idea. And even if not for the holidays, stuff they could keep in mind for the future.
We can totally keep that up for year round, and maybe we'll switch it out for, some other holiday. Valentine's Day is kind of a pretend holiday, but who knows what will come out of it. But I was also thinking of getting one product or a service from every one of the vendors that are in the guide and putting together one giant basket or bundle and like giving it away for small business. And this wasn't even my idea. It was Gina's idea. And she's a custom baker. I had a meeting with her. So Small Business Saturday is on November the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
So we can, if I can get this basket together, it'll be like a giveaway. I haven't figured out how people will enter, but I'll have to think of that. But it'll be a really nice way to get the word out about this guide, because it benefits every single business that's listed in that guide. I'm going to work really hard to outreach that.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's a really good idea. And if anyone who really knows me knows that when it comes to contests, I don't play games. I'm in it to win. And I manifest. Remember how I manifested that gift?
Oh my gosh, you did.
When
I
I'm
really hope you're going to be able to collect that prize too. I hope that we figure out a way to do that.
Yeah. Well, count me in for whatever the contest is.
Okay. All right. I'll have to think of something that's creative because I keep forgetting there are people that are competitive. So yeah.
I wouldn't say competitive, but I don't know what other word.
I think you just said that. When it comes to contests and games, like would you say you don't play around?
Yeah, and I said I'm in it to win it.
Exactly. I think that's the definition, my friend, of competitive.
Fine, but that's where I got to where I am today, I suppose.
Okay, well, we love you anyway. No worries.
Thank you. All right. So one thing I did want to ask, though, you said that things were kind of slowing down in terms of the workshops, but can you tell people who are watching, like, what some examples of what the workshops were, just so they have an idea of some things that have been going on?
Sure. So last month we had, or maybe it was just within the last few weeks, we had a workshop. Diamond McBride had a workshop about scaling your business or like learning how to delegate. I know that's been a topic, Jean, that has been really important to you about trying to figure out how to get your operations and processes in place so that when you are going to bring on someone, because how many times have people as a small business owner say, oh, you know, it's going to take me too longer to train the person than if I did it myself. So she did this really great workshop that walked us through what we needed to have in place, ready to go when we were going to bring on that person, whether it's a VA or a bookkeeper or what have you. Another workshop we had is we had a really great expert, like one of these people that are listed like top, top 30 in 30 and 30. She's in California. Her name is Lexi Smith. I think you attended that maybe with Sarah. But we had that webinar where she walked our members through how to create a media kit. So if you're at the point in your business where you're writing press releases or people are asking to interview you just like this, right? And you need collateral to share, headshots, bios, or you're at the point in your business where you're looking for sponsorships, and you need a media kit that shows your statistics, why a business should invest in you and what you have to offer. I mean, these were not small potatoes content, and I wouldn't say they're for beginning businesses either. These are obviously for businesses that are getting ready to go to the next level. Those are just two examples off the top of my head. I know we had a branding workshop with Monica Jansen. That was really great. I always think these things are very thought-provoking. And of course, the Small Business Summit, that of course was the product of two of our founding members. They met literally because they were members of DCFempreneur, and they just really kicked off this really great relationship. And so they created that summit, and DCFempreneur was a sponsor of theirs. And at least for the first one, I was a speaker, and that was fun. But yeah, I think those are pretty good examples. We have I almost forgot. I didn't even write it down on my notes. This Friday at 6:30, we are hosting another virtual Fempreneur social. So I think we also had one October the 2nd, and that was really neat because we had some people who attended that were international. They weren't just based in the DC area. So that was kind of neat. But you didn't know that she was from Toronto until she said about. I said, wait, are you from Canada? And she said, oh yeah, I'm in Toronto, because they have these accents that just kind of slip out on these various words. So yeah, this Friday, which is like 2 days from now at 6:30, we'll have another Fempreneur virtual happy hour or just a social. And anyone who is interested in more information about any of the events, Our event calendar is not just for our events. It's for any of our members. All 70 of them can post their events on the member calendar. So it's a nice little perk that if you have an event for your business, you're able to post it someplace that, is viewed by a lot of people in the community. So it's on our website, dcfempreneur.com/events. And so, there will be a variety of events there, not just DCFempreneur events, but member events as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm actually very grateful for that because I posted some of my events in the DCFempreneur calendar. I actually just put a link to the event calendar here in the comments so you guys can all check that out.
Thank you.
So DCFempreneur, I mean, there are so many events. Seriously, I can't even make them all. And you know me, I'm the queen of events. And they're all so useful and helpful. And I wish that I could. But so I say that because if you guys are not familiar with DCFempreneur, there are events for everybody. There's different times, different days of the week. There's always something going on. So if you miss something, there's always more. I don't know if anything's going to be recorded. I'll let Lisa talk about that. You mentioned the on-demand thing, but we can get to that in a minute. But just, I mean, every week it seems like there's multiple events, and it might even seem that way because of all the people that I met from DCFempreneur that host their own events too. So, in my head, it's like all DCFempreneur. And the reason why I'm saying that is just because there are so many opportunities, not just from DCFempreneur, but from all of the people, the wonderful people, the great speakers that you meet as a result of DCFempreneur.
Yeah, I completely agree. One of our members is the founders of Rowan Tree, and they are a co-growth. They have a brick and mortar business in Herndon, Virginia, and it's a co-growth co-working community. And they post their events to the member calendar, and they have a variety of different things. I think today, or it's either today or tomorrow, they have a presentation about the same person. I think it was Lillian from Profit First, when you're like how you pay yourself first. That's on the calendar. They do yoga and all kinds of things. So yeah, I feel like there's always something going on. I just finished up the 3-day intentional goal setting challenge literally last night at 8:30. I finished that. So yeah, I always feel like there's something going on, and I will probably, twist my arm. We'll probably launch another challenge to get ready for the new year. This is the time of year when we really think about setting goals for ourselves and for our business. And so I would love to see some fun stuff mixed in there, like, a vision boarding session. I'd love to be able to do something outside or outdoors. I've been trying to get a feel if people are ready to meet outdoors, maybe for a social, maybe at a winery, like a big open space. I feel like the fear of COVID has dissipated a little bit and people feel a little bit more comfortable going out. I just don't think we don't feel the same sort of panic that the way that we did back in March.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're starting to emerge a little bit. Libraries are starting to open up again. People are starting to return to work a little bit more. So I feel like maybe if we have a little bit, more moderate fall and winter, hopefully it won't be a frigid winter. Something like that would be really fun. I would love that.
Oh yeah, count me in if we're going to a winery. Or any event Lisa hosts, but winery sounds great.
Yes, those are fun.
Yeah. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about the virtual co-working? Because I think that's a really interesting idea and people might not understand what that is.
Oh, you mean like where we just meet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Friday, right now, Friday mornings.
Yeah, so we usually do them on Friday mornings. I have not put any on the calendar for November, but I could. So here's my October calendar for my paper calendar anyway. So virtual co-working is where literally we meet just like this. Usually it's 6 or 8 of us. We say hello and who we are, and we declare what it is we're going to work on for 45 minutes. I set a timer, or someone else sets a timer for 45 minutes, and we literally work We can turn off our cameras, we can turn off our microphones, and we work focused for 45 minutes. And you would be shocked how much work you can do and accomplish in 45 minutes without distractions. No one's talking to you. You've put this on your calendar. You're attending it. And there's something magical about that accountability that we're all sitting there. I mean, even though we're not in person, it feels the same in terms of accountability. Like, I don't get up, I don't walk around. I'm focused on what I said, and I told the group I was working on. And then after the 45 minutes, we come off of mute, we come back together. We talk about the progress that we made in that 45 minutes, any updates, maybe somebody they finished it and they started something new. And then we set a timer again for another 45 minutes and we work very diligently for that 45 minutes. And then that's it. Like, in an hour and a half, boom, 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 we get a ton of work done, but we feel the energy of having others around us. We're able to get input or use the others who are there as a sounding board. If people want to talk privately, like, they can go off by themselves if they want to in a breakout room, or they can chat in the chat together. It's really helpful. And it's the best way to get to know one another. You continuously see someone's face and hear more about what they do. It's really the best way to grow a relationship is to be present and to show up.
Yeah, and I think the accountability aspect is very important because you might think, how am I going to get work done if there's all these other people around? But you are forcing yourself to get work done because everybody is around.
Yes.
And it may sound a little strange, but it really works because it's worked for me.
It really works. Yes, there's something about it. Everyone is quiet. I always keep my my video on so people can get my attention if they need to, or use the chat. And there's something about it. I don't know if anyone who's watching or is listening has ever heard of something called the Pomodoro technique. But basically, Pomodoro is like Italian for tomato. And the people who created this method literally found a way to work productively on a task that they thought was difficult for 25 minutes. They started the timer back in the 70s and 80s when the timer was a tomato, and you turn the timer for 25 minutes and you work uninterrupted. And it is so powerful because you can get a lot done when you're not multitasking and you're not having to reset your mind on what you're working on. You can really be very productive. And it just works.
I don't know if you can see this, Lisa, but Jennifer Hokut has joined us, and she said,
"Hi, Jen."
She said, "Happy Wednesday, Jean and Lisa. The co-working events are great." Yes, I remember I met Jennifer Hokut at the co-working event at Jure Coffee.
Oh, that's right,
House.
Jure Cafe. Gosh, that seems like that event, I swear, was the most powerful event ever. Like, Jennifer met 2 or 3 other people who have become her besties there. It was the most powerful day ever. I don't know. That's going to be some sort of momentous day that will go down in history as the event that became the catalyst of so many relationships.
It really was a momentous day because that's where I met Jennifer. And I remember that awesome presentation that Jennifer did. And the one that I attended, well, maybe I attended 2. I don't remember. But there was one that was right before everything started shutting down. That event was one of the last events I was at, actually, that co-working event.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, she did the Post-it note thing where she took the Post-it notes and she put them on the window, and we did an activity. And that was the day that we helped you pick the cover for your book.
Yes, I forgot about that. Lisa and Jennifer Hokut helped me pick the cover of my book. Jennifer, by the way, is going to be my guest in 2 weeks on the Local Business Spotlight.
Oh, good. Okay.
For those of you who don't know, Jennifer is the founder, the owner of J. Hokut Group. That's a career development and public speaking organization. And Jennifer is so super awesome with everything that she does. And I'm actually going to be on her show too at some point, and we need to figure out when that is because both of us forgot.
Awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah, she started picking a new theme every month for her group. And of course, you know me, I'm very on board with themes. And I love to plan and lay things out. So yeah, that'll be fun. I think she's been working her way through getting to know other people in the community. And if she has a theme and I know about it, I say, oh, you should talk to so-and-so, or and vice versa. Like if I'm looking for an expert, she might know somebody. It's just a way that it is. And I talk to Jen most days. I would definitely say she's a friend now more than just, a member of our community. Like I definitely confide in her quite a bit. And I think that's important. Normally I would caution or err on the side of caution of becoming good friends where everybody knows your personal business in a professional community. But it has been really nice to have a very close inner circle of people who can totally relate to everything that you're going through, challenges that you're having in your business, or, having a spouse that may or may not be supportive of your business. There really is something to surrounding yourself with people who understand like your journey.
Oh, I want to give a shout out to one person, but then I want to get back to the book cover that you guys helped me pick.
Okay, yeah. Who is it?
Anderson Cabral says, hello, I'm from Brazil. I have now reached international waters.
Wow. What's his name? Anderson?
Anderson Cabral.
Hola, Anderson. Hola, ¿cómo está?
Oh, actually, they speak Portuguese in Brazil.
Oh, I don't. Okay, shoot. How do you say como está in Portuguese? I bet it's similar.
You probably say como está, and they understand anyway, because everybody uses Portuguese and Spanish.
Yeah. I can probably say how are you in about 4 different languages.
Again, Lisa is so amazing. I am just terrible. I studied French for 6 years, and I can understand it when someone comes on the news and speaks in French, and I'm like, a lot of good that did me. And I'm trying to teach myself Spanish. Try to teach myself Italian. Didn't go very well.
You definitely need Spanish if you're going to be in court in your county. That will be very helpful.
Yeah. So I got to keep working on that.
Yep.
But I want to share my screen right now because Lisa, and can you see my screen?
Yes, God, it is so good. I love my advice.
So Lisa, awesome. I couldn't. So when I was talking to Lisa and Jennifer at the co-working, there were several templates and different options, but I think this is the one that both Lisa and Jennifer liked and helped me decide on it, because I can be very indecisive, and it was very helpful to have that sounding board talking about the color and the circle and just how everything looked on the cover. And that's just one example of how helpful everybody is, because that was a huge load off my shoulders. And I think I continue to text Lisa and Jennifer and some other people, and I'm like, are you sure? What about this? But this is the book cover that Lisa was talking about.
I really felt very strongly about the font. And I was like, it looks exactly like the kind of font you see on a caution tape, like with the police.
Yeah. And
I felt really strongly about the picture because I liked the coloring, like it was a little bit mysterious. And I liked the yellow. Yeah, I thought it was a beautiful cover, as you can see.
Oh yeah, I love it. And the person who actually designed this, Troy Reimer, he's going to be on a local business spotlight at some point in the future. When I have a theme about writing your own book. I've got a lot of theme ideas. That's another thing I need to talk to you about, Lisa. But I met Troy through Marvin Powell, and everybody knows Marvin. People came up to me in the hallway in court today and were like, I saw that video that you did with that guy who's been on multiple lives. Like, you mean Marvin? Lisa,
yes,
I know
everybody knows him. He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. You're both master connectors and great people. And everybody misses you at the round table. They say, Lisa needs to come, but she's so busy.
I put that stuff on my calendar, and it's like I just cannot get there. I mean to. And that's Darren's event, right?
Yeah, Darren and Marvin.
Okay. Yeah, I really like Darren. When I first met him, I thought he was like the sweetest guy. And, it's just the guy you want to sit next to, no matter where you go. I like him so much. And just on a personal note, I love his little jokes that he posts every day on his Facebook profile. They're so corny, like these terrible dad jokes. You're like, oh, but they're so funny.
They are dad jokes, and they are funny. And every time when I'm scrolling through my Facebook and I see it, I roll my eyes and I know it's Darren before I even
yeah. It's now gotten to the point now where when I see something that's really stupid and funny, I tag him in it. It makes me think of him now, like these really silly, corny dad jokes, you know, with the dad humor.
Oh, so even though Lisa knows so many people, and I know a lot of people, but not as many as Lisa, everybody that we're talking about has been or will be on this show. Darren was one of the first guests. He was on the real estate webinar talking about changes due to COVID. So if you guys...
Gosh, has it been that long? Have we really been in this that long?
It's been 7 months.
I can't believe it. I mean, I know we really thought we were going to return to normal by now. And
yeah.
I don't think we're ever really going to. I don't know if it will ever really be the same. And I'm hoping we do. But, you know, if there are half of the people in the country who are opposed to getting the vaccine, even when there is one, it's possible we could continue to see cases where, you know, people are falling ill and dying from it because they're not getting the vaccine. So not only does the vaccine need to be produced, people have to have public trust in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And with government issues the way that they are, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, there is just not a lot of government trust right now. So, you know, ingesting something into your body that the government says you should take, gosh, who's comfortable with that? You know, that's, even if you know you're supposed to get it, it doesn't necessarily mean we're ready or we feel comfortable. It's tough.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I've got my mask right here. Like I never go anywhere without it. Or if I do, I can't get into a public establishment. So
exactly. Yeah.
Hand sanitizer in my purse. I mean, things like that I don't think are ever going to go away. I originally thought this was going to be, I thought it was going to be a month of total shutdown. And then in April, we were going to be back to normal. That's what I actually thought.
Me too. You know, I thought by like summer it would be done. And now we're kind of talking about the in-person school. Like we're not, you know, not even in January are kids going to return to school, because my kids go to Fairfax County Public Schools, and that's been voted down and down and down. Of course, I want my kids to go back to school because I think they're a pain in my butt, but I certainly don't want to risk teachers who I think are valued members of our community. I don't want to risk their health. So I understand, you know, both ways. I'm a parent, and, you know, I mean, my kids are older. So, you know, 12 and 16 are not, you know, young ones who can't sit still in that chair. I mean, it's really hard for so many families right now. I can't even imagine if I had younger kids, what I would do. Like, I really can't. I think that we need a lot of support right now. You know, I can't imagine being a single mom who, you know, is trying to work a job or grow a business, or both. Oh my goodness. Or both, and having a kid that you need to homeschool at home. Like, you know, that doesn't sound like a good time to me.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Nope. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about you getting a puppy, and I'm even saying, don't. I'm even saying, gosh, you know, that's a lot of responsibility, Jean. And now we're talking about single moms, you know, with kids at home. Like, yeah, I mean, oh my goodness, everything feels heavy right now. Hopefully, the holidays will bring some things back around. You know, I've been thinking about it. I mean, whenever, you know how it is like, even though we know the holidays occur on the same day every year, I celebrate Christmas. I always feel like it sneaks up on me. I have never said one year ever, I'm 43 years old, I have never said in my life, oh, I'm like ready and I'm well prepared. Like, I always feel like it sneaks up on me. So, but maybe the holidays will be something that will be happy for people, because, you know, it doesn't, except for if you can't visit your family. Like, I'm probably going to be by myself for Thanksgiving. Like, it'll be me and my kids, which is not technically alone, but it's surrounded by my dad and my mom and my sister and all that. So,
yeah,
we'll have to do extra time on the holidays.
I'm thinking about that too. And they already do kind of sneak up on you. Like, I didn't even realize it was October because it's Northern Virginia. So like every morning we wear a coat and then a dress in the afternoon. Never know what the weather's like. But I thought to myself yesterday, because the Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin Special is always on Tuesday on ABC every year. And I thought to myself yesterday, oh no, I hope I didn't miss it. And that, to me, that's like the start of the holidays. And yeah, everybody knows I'm so into Christmas and all that stuff. Yeah. So
I
I
love
don't know.
those Charlie Brown movies. Those are good traditions, you know.
They are good traditions. And I never watched them when I was a kid because my brother and I, it's like on Thanksgiving, for example, they would play the Thanksgiving one. And there was always a fight whether we were going to watch football or Charlie Brown. And I said, it's half an hour. Can't I watch Charlie Brown? But nope, not until I was an adult.
Yeah.
But they're great.
Yeah, this is a funny little story about the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is that, you know how it tells the story of people coming over from the Mayflower.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the story, there's a person on the Mayflower who falls overboard.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody literally, I don't know how, but that person who fell overboard is the last name of the person was Smith, and they were a descendant of my ex-husband.
Oh,
so we can track, or I should say, my ex-husband's family can track his lineage all the way back to the Mayflower to identify that the one who fell overboard was their descendant.
wow.
My kids always thought that was funny. They were like, "Oh, look, it's Uncle so and so or whatever." Like, it's just part of something that. I mean, they're not my descendant because I married into that family, but
Mm-hmm.
my mother-in-law, whose maiden name is Smith, that is her descendant.
Wow.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah. You go way back in the founding of
way back. Yeah. I mean,
wow.
I know there are some people that can go all the way back to like old world Europe with their,
wow.
Like I can trace my mom's family line all the way back to like the early hundreds something in Italy, like great, like all the way back. And some people can do that. But I don't know. It's just interesting. But yeah, it's good traditions around this time of year. And if we don't have them to observe, now is a really good time to start thinking about them, creating new ones.
Exactly. Because it's not going to be like before with Christmas parties, starting sometimes even before Thanksgiving. There are going to be some, but it's not going to be like, well, anybody who's watching this is from Northern Virginia, DC area, there's parties galore, multiple every day of the week. It's not going to be like that. I know there are going to be some, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this holiday and Christmas season goes.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking about Thanksgiving and I was like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to do for our holiday party. Like last year we had a really nice party and I had it fun, but does it make sense to do a virtual one? And if so, like what day would I pick? I don't know, but it is nice to be able to have a function where you're not having to go and look for a venue, that part's nice,
I will say, I know it's a bit of a drive for some people, but people probably notice the different background that I don't have my degrees behind me. I'm actually at Uptown Alley right now, which is where I had a prior live. And this is an event venue. And I know there are events. So we should definitely talk to Monica Harmison, who is the, I don't want to get her title wrong, but she basically runs the show. She's the event coordinator. She does everything. So
Alley Live, is that what you said?
Uptown Alley.
Uptown Alley. Okay, I'm writing it down.
I'm sorry, I've got her business card. Director of Sales and Marketing.
Okay, I wrote it down.
And I'll send you her information.
Okay.
Yeah, Monica. So talk about first world problems. The internet wasn't working in my office, so I had to come here to use the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
But they have bowling. They have specials every day. They do a trivia night. They've got karaoke, live music, arcade. It's kind of like a Dave and Buster's, the best way to describe it. But they have space to have parties, and there's a private room too.
Okay. And this is in Manassas?
It is in Manassas.
Okay.
And because I don't know what other places are doing. I don't know how many places are open and having events, and frankly, I don't know what the limit is right now, how many people can be in a place. But
I think it's 50. I think it went from 10 to 25, and I think now it's 50. But I I don't really keep up with it, to be honest with you. I don't go anywhere. Where do I go? You know what I mean? You know, I don't purposely washed my hair and put on makeup for this. You know, that is a rarity in COVID world. And you know, we what do we have to do that for? We don't have to. So yeah. But I think it is something to think about. You know, putting a date on the calendar for a holiday celebration in December.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna write it down.
And if things have to be adjusted, you know, we can do that later, because who knows what's going to happen 2 months from now. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we know what's going to happen 2 months from now, which will be no change from what it is now. Yeah. Even if we have a magic vaccine that's available right now, you know, the 300,000 trials that they have is not going to be enough for all of us to get it. Mm-hmm. There's not going to be a change in 3 months. We can just, you know, we can put up our trees and cook our turkeys and call it a year.
Well, I need a place to share my my Christmas cookies that I make every year. So it's got to be something.
You'll have to do like little Elfster drops where you can put yourself in a little outfit, and then you put them in a container, and you call the person and you tell them that you're going to drop them off. And you put them on the little porch, and you stand back and you wave at them and you say happy holidays or whatever, and you drive off.
People who are listening, please don't get any ideas from this. I'm going to have to drive in the snow and the ice and find an outfit and be perky.
Oh, please. I can totally imagine you in those little like elf. What are those called? Are they ears?
No,
yeah,
they have
ears.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the weird like Lord of the Rings ears. Yeah,
those would be so cute.
I hope so.
Now you like the idea. Look at your face. You like the idea.
No, I actually really don't.
Oh,
Lisa, you're gonna have to do it with me though.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I haven't really been out that much. I've gone. I went to one winery to celebrate one friend's birthday, and we were outside the whole time, and everything was like very social distanced. And I went on one lunch that was outside. This is all since March. And I went on one picnic that was outside with my dog and my friend's dog. And that's it. Like, I've had my groceries delivered since like February.
I did do that for a while. And I'm
like a shut-in.
I didn't go anywhere for 6 weeks. Yeah.
Well, do you feel safe in the courthouse now? Like, are people being safe, and like you feel okay going to work?
The more time that goes by, the better it is.
Yep, that's what I think too. People have kind of released that panic.
Yeah, and people understanding what they're supposed to do when they enter the building, and you know, they take the temperatures. At some courthouses, they ask questions, you know, if you've traveled outside the country, all that stuff. And if you answer certain ways to certain questions, you can't get in. So they're trying. And I mean, it's difficult. I think it's hard to say what people should and shouldn't be doing, because things have to get back rolling as safely as possible. And I think it's
Jennifer and I went and had our nails done at a spa in Burke, not spa, but at a nail place in Burke. And I was pretty impressed. Like, there was plexiglass everywhere. You walk in, you have to sign. They have a QR code. You sign a waiver.
Wow.
They take your temperature, and you have to have your mask the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't get sick. Jennifer didn't get sick. We were good, and we had a nice time. You know. So I kind of like these things in moderation.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think we're going to be having Christmas parties, and people are just going to be wearing masks.
Yeah. An ugly sweater and an ugly mask.
I have plenty of ugly sweaters. Again, everybody who knows me knows I'm so into the holidays. I will go to any themed party, and I actually have ugly sweaters, and I have to explain to people, this is my ugly sweater party sweater. I don't wear this. otherwise.
The fact that you have to say that, I don't
But it's
know.
so ugly. Like, I mean, but I don't even win the contest. The people who win have like bells and like things pasted on their sweaters. Mine's just ugly.
I do have a sweater that was given to me. I did not buy it. It was given to me like 2 years ago at Christmas. That is so ugly. My son's ugly sweater has bells and a hoodie. It is really bad. I really just wanted to throw it away, but then I feel bad like doing that. So I haven't done that, but so anyway, all right. Well, I think we should wrap up. It's been 55 minutes. If there's anyone still out there listening, so sorry. We can just chat and chat all day. So,
well, I think people are used to that with my lives.
Come here. Hurry up. Come here. Hurry up.
Oh, that's Lisa's dog. I've actually met Bella before.
Yeah, this is Bella. She says
Hi,
hola
Bella.
and buongiorno and bonjour ça va and konnichiwa. She hears something outside.
Oh, I think Bella
And it is
wants
her dinner time. We are 32 minutes past her dinner time. So she was like, hello, on my foot.
Well, we're actually kind of past my dinner time because I haven't eaten all day. So I think.
Oh my God, you do that. I'm sure you have a sandwich with 2 bites taken out of it.
I wish I did.
That's how we know you.
Okay, so she's right. I'll pack a sandwich and I'll take 2 bites in the courthouse hallway when I have a moment, and then I don't have time the rest of the day. But today I didn't have time to pack a sandwich, and I said I wish I had my sandwich. I could eat it in the car.
At least you'd have 2 bites of it.
Exactly. So now I have to pack my sandwich tonight for tomorrow when I go home. But anyway, thank you so much, Lisa, for joining me.
This was fun.
If you want to add any more links or anything to the comments, this video will live forever. So you can always.
Oh my God! I just clicked on the thing and now I see the comments. Holy crap! Boy, I see Jennifer's going. Good to see you. I love it when she says that. Oh, I see now. Anderson Cabral.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas movies, bring it on. Oh, this whole time I've had it on the wrong thing. I had it on private chat instead of comments.
Oh.
That's okay. No worries. We said it all anyway. It's good.
Yeah, we did.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. I'm going to go feed the little monster, and I hope you have a good night. Thanks again.
Thanks so much for joining me, Lisa. Bye.
Bye.